Shri Guruvyo Namaha. In chapter presentation of data, in previous session we have discussed about the diagrammatic presentations. In that we have discussed what is bar diagram, the types of bar diagram, pie chart, how to calculate the pie chart. The next we are going to see frequency diagram. So frequency diagram, mostly it will be grouped in the form of frequency distributions and it can be represented by histograms, frequency polygon and Ogive curve. So in this we are going to see what is histogram. So histogram is nothing but it is a two-dimensional diagram. Under this, if you see, means the set of that means rectangles with the base has the intervals. That means the base will have the intervals between the boundaries and also it will be proportionally equal to the class frequencies. Mostly the histogram will not drawn for the discrete variable. It will be drawn only for the continuous variables. What is discrete variables and continuous variables we already discussed in the previous session itself. Okay, so the histograms will be drawn mostly for the continuous variables. Clear? So in the continuous variables the two classes are there. One is equal classes will be there and also unequal classes will be there. So in case of unequal classes, the classes will be converted into the equal classes. That also we have discussed in the previous session. Clear? So here in this tabular column you can see means it gives about the marks which is obtained by the students, number of students. Clear? So see the class interval, yes, it is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. Here you can see the class intervals are equal. We have the equal class intervals. Clear? So for this diagram we have drawn this like a same only we have drawn how we drawn the bar diagram. The same only we have drawn for the histogram. Okay, but we can find the differences in the bar diagram and the histogram. The space is not there in the histogram, where in the bar diagram the spaces will be there. Clear? So this diagram is drawn on the equal class intervals. Understand? The next if you see means in case of unequal class intervals. So here you can see the class intervals. Now see here the class intervals 45 to 49, 50 to 54, 55 to 59 and it will goes on, comes like that, the class interval goes on. Suppose if the numbers comes between 49 and 50, so how we will make the class interval equal? We already divided, that means we already seen in the previous classes, that is the differences will be taken and it will be minused. Clear? So what is the differences between 50 and 49? The differences is 1. The 1 will be divided by the 2, so you will get the 0.5. So the 0.5 will be minused in the lower limit and the 0.5 will be added in the upper limit. So what values you will be getting that? That is, what value you will get it in that? 44.5 and 49.5. And next 49.5 and 54.5 and then 54.5 and 59.5. Like this we'll make the unequal class into equal class intervals. Understand? So in this way only we will make the unequal class intervals into the equal class intervals. Okay. Next we can see the differences in the bar diagram and the histogram. We already know that the bar diagram is a one dimensional, where in case of histogram it is a two dimensional. So in this picture you can see that in this histogram there is no space between the two rectangles, but in case of bar diagram we can see the some spaces is left between the two bars. Okay, so we can have a bar diagram both for the discrete series and continuous series, but in case of histogram it will be drawn only for the continuous series and not for the discrete series. Clear? Frequency polygon. So frequency polygon is a straight lines. So it is the most common method which is used in presenting the grouped frequency distribution. Frequency polygon is an alternative to the histogram, and the same frequency polygon can also be derived from the histogram itself. Okay, so from this diagram you can understand. So you know how to draw the frequencies. So the same with the class intervals we used to draw the rectangular bars. So there will be no space between the rectangular bars that we have discussed in the previous topic. Okay, so with that what we are doing means, when we are joining the middle point of these parts, we can draw the line. So that line will be called as an frequency polygon drawn from this given table. You can see that line here, this black line it is there, no? So that is called as the frequency polygon. With this we come to know how the frequency polygon is also derived from the histogram. Okay, so we noted that frequency polygon is an alternative to the histogram. So how can we make a frequency polygon means, by marking the midpoint, that is the class marks, by plotting a dot in the graph sheet. Okay, so from this picture you can understand as how the frequency curve has been formed. So with that axis, okay, whatever they given on the x and y axis, when you are making the plot, each and plot shows that. Okay, so each and plot it will be shows, after joining this each and plot you will get an frequency curve. So frequency curve is also derived from the histogram. Clear? The next one is Augur curve. So Augur curve is obtained by plotting the points on the graph. Okay, with the help of cumulative frequencies on the y-axis and the frequency and the class limits. By using the class limits and also the cumulative frequencies, the Augur curves will be formed. So Augur curve is also called as an cumulative frequency curve. So the Augur curve has these two frequencies, that is less than type and the more than type. So here we can see what is less than type and more than type. So first if you see means the less than type frequency distributions, class interval is there and number of students is there. So in case of less than frequencies, here we can form this marks here, that is a less than. With the class intervals we are making less than 20, less than 40, less than 60, less than 80 and less than 100. So how can we make the cumulative frequency for the under the less than category means, first one is we have written the same 6 what is given in the questions. The next one is 11. How we got that 11 means 6 plus 5, that is 11. The next one is 44, that is 6 plus 5 plus 33. Next one is 58, 6 plus 5 plus 33 plus 14, 58. Again plus 6 we are getting the 64. So in case of less than frequency, cumulative frequency, we will add the next. We will add this and we will get the cumulative frequency for the each class intervals. Okay, but in case of more than frequency curve, so here we will denote it as more than 0, more than 20, more than 40, more than 60 and more than 80. So here how can we make the cumulative frequency means, here we are taking the highest total what we are getting in the question. So total we got the 64. From the 64 we have to minus the 6, we will get the 58. Again from the 58 if you minus 33 we will getting this. From the 58 if you minus 5 we will get the 53. From the 53 if you minus 33 we will get the 20. Okay, from the 20 if you minus 14 means we will get the 6. So here the values will be same. So in simple if you see means it will be the opposite side of the less than frequency curve. Sorry, it is not opposite. We can see the value of the less than frequency curve and the more than frequency curve will be equal. The highest value will be equal. Clear? So based on this less than frequency curve, we will plot the graph. Okay, and based on this more than frequency curve, here one more graph will be drawn. So in case of both less than cumulative frequency and more than cumulative frequency, we can able to obtain the median. So the point where they are meeting, okay, both the x-axis and y-axis, that will be considered as a median. Median can be obtained from the Ogive curve. Okay, so after joining these two curves, we can see the two curves are meeting at the point. Which point you are meeting? That is 52.72. Here the value has been taken. So the median can be obtained by using the less than and more than Ogive curve. Okay, the next one is time series or trend graph, uni or multivariable. So how can we get the time series? If you see me, mostly in the time series. So time series is also called as an arithmetic line graph. So mostly in case of this line graph, years will be there, week will be there, date, month, or everything will be given. Okay, so it helps us to compare the two variables. Either we can take it as an export or import. Sir, if you given means in the example it is given as tourist, non-local residents and local residents, how many peoples are visited. So based on this, a time graph has been drawn. So the green color shows the non-local residents, the red color shows the local residents, and the blue color shows the number of tourists. So this, with this time graph, it helps us to draw the time series. Understand? So based on this only, the arithmetic line graph will be started. So it may be taken, this arithmetic line graph will be very helpful in understanding the time, the trend along with the time what it is going on in the present day situations, and also it will be taken for the business purposes also. Okay, so with this chapter the presentation of data has been completed. Thank you, children.